Nanotechnology is a growing field of science that has major potential in many areas, such as the medical field, agriculture, waste treatment, and even your local grocery store, and should be treated as such. There are many ways to ensure that the future of nanotechnology stays positive. Investing in stocks for nanotechnology is one way. Investing your personal time in becoming a patient for research is another. You can also invest your own future in the promise that nanotechnology brings. You could, for instance, become a scientist who specializes in an area of nanotechnology. People are always looking for investment opportunities. However, investors must always ask themselves, where do the profits lie? In today's world, this question can be answered within the prospects of nanotechnology. The fight against cancer specifically is going rather well. The technology to battle both lung and prostate cancer has led to the great success of Bind Therapeutics, including raising roughly $70.5 million with its initial public offering. The company, which was founded in 2006, has developed Accurins, which are a form of targeted and programmable therapeutics. These Accurins target diseased cells, concentrating the therapeutic payload at the site of the disease, doing minimal damage to the surrounding healthy tissue. Last summer, the company announced that it had dosed the first patient in a Phase 2 clinical trial of Bind 014 as a second-line therapy in patients with non-small cell lung cancer. Additionally, as of March this year, Bind has enrolled more than 80% of patients in the same Phase 2 clinical trial, and the company expects to advance 2 additional product candidates from its proprietary Accurin pipeline toward clinical development. According to the company's 2013 full-year financial results, revenue for the fourth quarter of 2013 was $2.1 million, compared to the $500,000 for the fourth quarter of 2012. Richard Smalley, who was a professor at Rice University, as well as part of a team that won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1985, has said that chemotherapy would be obsolete in 20 years because scientists would engineer nanoscale drugs that were essentially cancer-seeking missiles, able to target mutant cells with minimal side effects. How amazing is that? The thought that cancer itself could be no more than an inconvenience in the near future is astounding. Equally as astounding is the fact that people like you and me could be a part of this fantastic possibility. Researchers are gaining more and more ground each day, but what they really need is volunteers willing to test new technology out. These researchers are always looking to try out their new incarnations of nanotechnology on a real subject rather than rats, so that they will know for sure if it will actually help humans. There are many great career opportunities available in the field of nanotechnology. For instance, salaries start at $34,000 and go all the way up to $90,000 for the top 10%. The average salary of a nanotechnology engineer is $62,000. However, this average may vary depending on several factors like level of education, the amount of experience you have, industry, company size, and location. Careers that are obtainable include study in the areas of the electronics or semiconductor industry, auto and aerospace industries, biotechnology, medical fields and pharmaceuticals, forensics, military and national security, energy capture and storage, and many more. Another great area in which nanotechnology is branching out is artificial sustainability. Kazunari Domen and researchers in similar labs around the world hope to someday create an artificial leaf of sorts which would not only split water, but also use the gases generated by this process to produce hydrogen and methanol fuels that could sustainably power homes and vehicles. Daniel G. Nocera, who is an American chemist and university professor as well as the majority of pushing power behind the actual creation of the artificial leaf, points out that this artificial leaf responds to the vision of a famous Italian chemist who, in 1912, predicted that scientists would one day uncover the guarded secret of plants. The most important of these, Nocera says, is the process that splits water into hydrogen and oxygen. The artificial leaf has a sunlight collector sandwiched between two films that generate oxygen and hydrogen gas. When dropped into a jar of water in the sunlight, it bubbles away, releasing hydrogen that can be used in fuel cells to make electricity. These self-contained cells, units, are attractive for making fuel for electricity in remote places and the developing world, but designs demonstrated thus far rely on metals like platinum and manufacturing processes that make them cost prohibitive. To make these devices more widely available, Nicera replaced the platinum catalyst that produces hydrogen gas with a less expensive nickel molybdenum zinc compound. On the other side of the leaf, a cobalt film generates oxygen gas. Nicera notes that all of these materials are abundant on Earth. Unlike the rare and expensive platinum, noble metals, metal oxides, and semiconducting materials others have used. In closing, I would like to revisit the fact that investment in nanotechnology is definitely worth your time and/or economic interest. Nanotechnology is the way of the future. All that is needed is further testing and greater funding.